Hello and welcome to my video presentation. The title of this is Learning to Speak French, also known as Budgeting and Strategic Planning, because basically budgeting and strategic planning for me is like learning to speak French. It's challenging. This video presentation is clearly on budgeting and strategic planning. I'm going to give you an overview of the budget and strategic plan of an institution that I chose, and then I'm going to break that down for you all and tell you my take on budgeting and strategic planning after I have learned the things I've learned from exploring this institution's budget and philosophy on budgeting. I chose Averett University, which is my alma mater. Averett is a Division III liberal arts institution. Its main campus is located in Danville, Virginia, which is where I'm from. It's right on the border of North Carolina. They have other locations that are only for adult learners in Roanoke, Richmond, Quantico, Chesapeake, and Newport. It was founded in 1859 as an all-girls school, and then in 1969 it became a co-ed institution. They have 1,900 students that attend Averett. 870 of them are traditional, and 1,000 of them are adult learners. They've got 30 undergrad degrees in special programs, along with 3 master's degrees that are offered there. Okay, so the first person that I interviewed for this assignment was the CFO at Averett University, and this position is full-time. He's been there for 2 years. He's 50 years old. Prior to being at Averett, he served as the Assistant Vice President and Controller for Oregon State, where he was for 8 years. He holds an MBA from Oregon as well. He has lots of experience with accounting and just being in the Department of Justice. He is very qualified for this position. Interviewee number 2 is slightly less experienced within the budgeting world. He is a graduate assistant within the athletics department at Averett. He is 24 years old, and he began at Averett in March of this year. Before Averett, he played soccer at Lebanon Valley College, and his degree is in education. And as I said before, he has no previous business experience. Okay, so I asked a number of questions to each of my interviewees, and basically it was just a good opportunity for me to pick their brains about budgeting and strategic planning. A lot of questions were on developing and planning, so developing a budget and how to plan for a budget. I asked questions about difficult experiences they might have had, as well as strategical plans about their approach to budgeting and making cuts. The specific questions that I added on were about extra resources when they're needed. How does that get approved? So it tied in with the approval process question. Also asked about how they decide what is top priority when allocating the funds, along with how adding and cutting programs is done, the decisions that have to be made and the process done for that. Also, another question that came up was, is there a budget for fundraising? It was just a thought that I had, and I thought that would be a very good question to find out the answer to. Turns out there is a budget for fundraising. Okay, now we're getting to the important stuff. Averett uses a zero-based budget, and that's where they look at what was spent last year and determined if the budget needs to be raised or lowered or stay the same. They also notice the income that's being created by the different departments because of the number of students being brought in and how much money is needed to keep that program running. The capital budget is developed differently. They create a wish list, and they only continue on with projects within the capital budget when there is cash flow coming into the university. Fundraising is also super important for the capital budget. So another important question is always when budgeting is talked about is, does the strategic plan match up with the budget? And at Averett, yes, it does. For example, one of the themes in their strategic plan is academic innovation. And within their strategic plan, the expansion of capital funding section is listed as a subcategory of academic innovation, and they seek to raise at least $10,000 of corporate funding to support faculty activities such as research, and another $10,000 to support department projects. So this is just one area that they are doing an excellent job of making sure that their strategic plan matches up with their budget. Okay, they monitor, and on a monthly basis, they have meetings within athletics and for the institution overall. The institution overall meets with the CFO, and within the athletic department, they meet with the athletic director as head coaches to make sure that they're staying on track. And the approval process is that the budget managers have to gain approval from the CFO, who might have to gain approval from the president or from the board. And within athletics, the head coaches have to gain approval from the athletic director, who may also have to gain approval from the CFO. Lastly, the most important things that they do at Averett are focus on their zero-based budgeting, and they have very open and transparent communication when they're having these monthly meetings and talking about the budget overall, and they are also very proactive in their approach with budgeting and problem solving. My thoughts. I like combining a zero-based budget and responsibility-based budget without the revenue distribution within responsibility-based budgeting. I think that creates a perfect budgeting plan. I like that within zero-based budgeting, none of the funds are taken for granted. It is important that each area of the budget be reassessed yearly to ensure its value and its necessity, and that it is being efficient. With responsibility-based budgeting, I like that each budget is held accountable for the spending within their own unit. However, I do not like that the unit that raises the money keeps all the money, because if a big portion of the university, such as football, gets to keep all of the revenue that football brings in at big sporting events, then other sporting events such as tennis or golf are not going to gain any benefit from this at all. I like the one team motto, where all of the funds are distributed equally, not equally, but fairly between teams based off of the need and the numbers on their rosters. Finally, the aspects that I really like about Averett's budgeting approach are the monthly monitoring sessions, the meetings, the open, transparent means of communication, and the proactive approach they use for creating their budgets. When I incorporate all of these pieces, I feel like I will be able to successfully create, manage, and maintain a budget within any organization. And these, I believe, are the keys to doing that. Thanks for watching my video assignment, you guys. I hope you all enjoyed it.